This is a diagram of the drivetrains for a 2005 ML350. Um, the front drivetrain of this vehicle, which you see a close-up of here, the has a U joint, and the U joint is self-lubricated, self-sealed bearings, and after about probably 100,000, my vehicle has 180,000 miles on it. Those start to go, and you can see the U bolt on the right hand side of this piece. It basically broke in half. So when those bearings dry up, it'll give you a warning. You'll start hearing like a metallic sound, like give in the transmission as you go from forward to reverse or from reverse to drive. It's basically telling you that there's slippage or there's wear of the U joint. So this is actually the old U joint, and you can see, if you see all that metallic, it's actually the U joint actually broke. So the bearings wear out, and then the joint starts to disintegrate and break, and it'll still drive in some cases with it broken, but it starts making noise when you shift gears. You shouldn't hear any noise when you shift gears. So it's telling you that there's slack in your U joint, and it's time to repair. Not sure if they can be lubricated because it's self-lubricating, but the piece is not that expensive. This is the actual front drivetrain. It powers the rear and the front wheels. So when it goes, your car stops. So if you ever have a car that will drive, a truck that will drive, but it won't move, most likely it's this front drivetrain. This is after I broke the drivetrain at the worn joints, because it just felt like it was easier to get it out by breaking it and removing it. The front bolts are easy to get out. The back bolts are harder to get to. Here you're seeing where the back bolts go into. But that's the front of the car. That has about 8 bolts that are hex key, hex that you can get out with a hex key. This is the actual U joint. You see it cracked there. That was just lack of lubrication over time. That's the new one. This is the old one. It's actually 2 pieces now. I literally broke it at the U joint in order to make it easier to get out. This, you're gonna see the new one that's in. I was able to put the new one in, put the screws in. They're very hard to tighten and get to. Is a very tight space you have access to. It's better that this car is up on a lift because it's easy to get to, and you definitely need special tools. You'll need definitely a good ratchet set with an extender, and it's just hard to get in there, and you'll need some patience. But it took about an hour to get out once I figured out what was holding it. You know, the front's easy to get out. The back is a little harder. Luckily, I was able to break it. So it made it easier for me to get to the bolts. This is me test driving the car after I fixed it, and I was concerned, but it worked fine. No noise at all going into reverse, from park to reverse, or from reverse to drive. We were hearing a clink, like it's like metal on metal, because literally the U joint is so loose that it is making noise, because it basically wore through the bearing. There was nothing holding it secure. So that's just you can reach out to me if you want some details on how exactly I got it out and what kind of tools were needed. It's a pretty simple replacement. You could pay $500 to $800 just for this part. I found it for $195, I believe, on Amazon, and it was relatively easy to replace.